Hey everyone, you're listening to Midlife Matters. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Julie and Mindy to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. Meal planning and summer meals are up on the podcast today. We're talking easy, warm weather recipes and foods that your whole family will love. We also cover grocery pickup, delivery options, picky eaters, and what to serve for that very difficult meal, lunch. Let's get started. Hey, Julie.
Hey, Marie.
Hi, Mindy.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you guys today. We are having our first really warm day. We're going to be talking about spring and summer meals. And I don't know about you guys, but as soon as the weather gets warm, I suddenly want to eat different things than I ate all winter long. And it always happens at the time of year, which is my worst to cook. This is lacrosse season for my girls. And I think I am either picking someone up or at a game every day around dinner. So it's so hard to make meals. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about meal planning and spring and summer meals and incorporating some of that into my own life.
Oh, me too. I can't wait to hear what you guys have.
It'll be a fun topic.
Yes. What's been going on with you guys?
I got to have breakfast with my married son this morning. That was fun. And then tomorrow I leave for Texas to see my daughter. I'm taking my mom with me. So it's going to be fun.
So neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your daughter just moved into her first house, right?
Yeah. So she's got her guest bedroom all set up and waiting on us. And I think she's got some fun little projects for us. And
that's going to be so fun.
Oh, exciting.
Now,
yes.
I noticed that Molly hasn't posted any pictures of her house, but while you're there, say, Marie wants to see some pictures. Can I post some?
Yeah, you just get glimpses around her cat pictures.
Yes. I kind of know what her floors look like because she posted a video of her cats and maybe her kitchen countertop.
Oh, that's so funny.
How about you, Mindy? You've been traveling up and down the East Coast.
I have. I've been in the minivan rocking it out by myself quite a bit lately. Our house in Tennessee needed some major spring cleanup, the usual trimming, mulching, sprinklers turned on, flowers, fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got to pair the work with fun and go see my daughter in Chattanooga, and we had a blast together.
I enjoyed seeing your pictures with her.
Bryce texted me. He said, honey, I'm afraid you're not going to come home. You look like you're having too much fun.
It's amazing how free you feel with just yourself and one kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you really are. Especially, when they're potty trained and they want to do the same things that you want to do. It's so fun. The world is wide open.
Right. And of course, you didn't have to be doing any meal planning because you got to eat out all the time when it's just two of you.
I did. And even staying in my house in Tennessee, I couldn't cook there because I didn't have all my dishes. I didn't want to make a mess because the house is still showing quite a bit.
And fingers crossed that house sells this spring.
Amen.
For sure.
Well, what's going on with you, Marie?
Well, I just got back from a little trip with my daughter and her husband. And that was a real neat experience. I would really like to establish that we like to do things together as adult friends, that we enjoy and not always just, this is part of a family trip or a family vacation or a family obligation, but know that we picked a place and we had things we wanted to do and we went as friends. I really want to have that kind of relationship and do those kinds of things.
I loved seeing y'all's pictures too.
Thank you. All right, well, let's get down to meal planning because I know that I cannot be the only one who is feeling they need a complete revamp in the kitchen this time of year. I feel like we're going to probably be tiered out in this podcast. Julie is on a level that Mindy and I will never achieve. And
true.
And then it's Mindy. And then it's me.
What? I don't think so, Marie. I was going to put myself at the bottom.
So listeners,
we're vying
definitely listen to everything that Julie is saying and then take whatever Mindy and I say with a grain of salt because we're trying to learn here.
That's true. Thanks, Maria. I appreciate that preface.
Well, anything I say will be from past Julie, not present Julie.
Oh, that's so funny.
I've slacked off quite a bit.
Well, listeners, we all had to bring 3 spring/summer recipes to this episode, so I can't wait to find out what we all brought.
I was like, can I write Chick-fil-A on there?
Yes. We're going to start out real basic. What goes into your planning thought process? And these questions really came from Julie. And when I saw this question, I thought, do I even have a planning thought process? My thought is, what is in the cupboard and how long do I have until the kids say, I'm so hungry. If we don't eat right now, I'm going to die.
Okay. Now, this is somewhat relaxed now that I only cook for 2 people. First of all, I look at the calendar and I think, how many nights do I even need to plan a meal for? You know, are we home this night? Are we away? Is this a church night? Is my husband working late? Is my son going to be somewhere else? And then I usually now plan 3 meals a week. Used to be more, but I account for one night for leftovers, one night, you know, nobody's home. We eat out both meals on Sundays, lunch and dinner, so I don't count that day. And then I like to keep my recipes in this 3-ring binder. Even recipes from magazines or books or handwritten cards, I put them all in these little sleeves. So then I go and make my grocery list. And it used to be on paper. Now I do online ordering, so it's much easier. Then I, go shopping, get back home, and I keep that list out because I'm really bad about forgetting what is that can of whatever in the fridge for? What is that chicken for? Or I'm really bad about thinking, I don't want to cook tonight. Like I forget what we have and what it's for. So I found that it's really important to keep that list handy. And I even write out like breakfast and snacks. Especially if it's not
you
like
actually
snacks like
plan
chips.
your breakfast?
Well, like if I'm going to try something different,
Okay.
like, I've got, like if I normally eat oatmeal, but this morning I'm going to do something different.
Yes.
I'll write it. If it's something different, I write it out so I don't forget it.
No, that's a good idea. Yeah, for sure.
I just like to have it present. And then used to, my kids would want to see it,
Well, would they have to give approval?
That's funny.
Yeah, I was thinking about my planning thought process and I was thinking, well, time of year always plays into it. And activities that are going on that night, requests that people may have made recently, stores I've been to, and how much time I have. But in 25 years of marriage, I have never been able to get myself in gear to plan out like weekly. Like I really admire people that can do that. And I've known people throughout my marriage, women friends that do that. I don't know why I don't just look at a weekly calendar. Do you look by the week, Mindy?
I can't say that I do.
Okay.
No, not really. Unless we have company coming or something. And I kind of know there's something happening.
Yeah. If you guys don't plan, how do you grocery shop? Like, how do you know what to buy?
I replace things as they are used up. I just put them right back on the grocery list.
So you always pretty much have the same thing in your pantry.
The exact same thing, Julie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I sit down when things kind of run out. Then I think like, okay, what do I have? Do I need to like get something to go with this? Mainly what I think is, what have we not had in a while? And I'll sit down and kind of think about like dietary needs. I think about our budget. Bryce is going to be so proud that I said that word. I always ask the family, like, is there anything you guys want? Because I get tired of same stuff because there's like those staple meals that I make a lot. Always asking, nobody ever has any input, no matter how many times I ask.
I know, but then they're the first ones to criticize.
Then they complain,
you had your chance.
Thanks to be you. So I really I sit down, I'm like, we haven't had this in a while. And it's more of like a creative process that no planning or organization goes into. And it's more on a whim.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't even really just shop by the week. I kind of shop in like spurts. So maybe I might go 4 days without a grocery order. And then maybe I might go 7 days without the grocery order.
You girls must be more committed to cooking dinner than I am because if I, for a minute, didn't know what it was supposed to be that night, I might just flake out and say we're eating out of order. So I have to have it like, no, this is what's for dinner tonight. I
have like 15 meals written on a piece of paper inside one of my cupboards that I could pretty much make at any time. They're very simple. but I pretty much always have the
Mhm.
ingredients for at least 6 of them at any one time, and I could easily add on 1 or 2 things and get the ingredients for other ones. But these are not complicated meals.
I do like to I keep my list in the front folder of my 3-ring binder,
Okay.
and I have list of meals. And I probably at one point got up to about 25 meals.
Ooh.
And then underneath the name, I wrote the ingredients.
Oh,
So
perfect.
when I'm going
Nice.
back, I could look for maybe 3 or 4 meals that had common ingredients, so it would
Right.
get used up, or I don't know, I get bored with the same food, so I have to have some variety. I couldn't eat the same
Oh,
thing
yeah.
every week or even every 2 weeks.
With a big family, you have to streamline it somehow. It's hard to not kind of have those go-to meals or staple ingredients on things because the day changes so easily too. You think you're going to be at home and then you're not. Maybe you think you have time to go to the store, but you don't. So we definitely have those go-to things.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you guys switch out your meals seasonally?
Definitely grill more in the summer. I look forward to this
yes.
time of year because I rarely cook a meat inside anymore. I like to grill. I don't even think we ever cook hamburgers in the winter, but I do in the summer. Lots of roasted veggies on the grill, whereas I roast them in the oven in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I like cold pasta salads more.
Yeah.
And always fruit. Pretty much
Right.
once watermelon comes in, it's cut up in the fridge and we have it with all our meals. Or cantaloupe or honeydew. I like all the melons.
I think watermelon is a continual side dish of ours from like May to the end of September.
Yeah, I love it.
Watermelon, I detest.
Oh, you don't like watermelon,
Because
Mindy?
I have a hard time eating fruit. I have to force myself. I'm definitely more of a vegetable person.
Oh.
But the reason that I struggle with watermelon in our house because we had so many years where the kids were little and they would drop it on the floor. There's nothing stickier or more attractive to ants. I lean against the counter and I'm to it because somebody dropped watermelon right there.
Yes. I was thinking that we moved to colder foods too. We're not big grillers, but if we are going to do any grilling, it's obviously in the summer. And we have a lot of lighter fare. In the summer, I was thinking really consists of one main thing and then fruit and vegetables. And that
It's
I count it as
true.
a meal and it feels like enough.
Not as heavy.
So how do you guys go from an idea for a meal to grocery shopping to prep? Do you have any tips for making it less painful? My biggest tip for making it less painful is please get on the Walmart grocery app. Mindy, have you tried it yet?
It's true. Yes, that's on my list.
It is awesome. I mean, as my kids
is.
run out of things, I just go on there and type it back in. And then before I hit checkout, I will usually think about the meals the next couple days, maybe 3 to 5 days out. And if I know I'm missing something for something I want to make, I'll add it in.
Yes.
And it just makes me feel more prepared. And I know that it's on its way.
Yeah, I use the Walmart online ordering. And for example, we have the college Bible study over here every Tuesday night. So either Saturday or Sunday, I think, okay, what do we want to have? And that prompts me to place my order because I just don't like waiting till the day of to go find all that stuff because a lot of it's stuff that I can just pop in the oven, But that is really helpful. I have used the Kroger online ordering. They just charge you $4.95, whereas Walmart's is free. But one thing I like about Kroger is that they will let you choose your produce a little more specifically. Like you could say, I want green bananas or I want ripe bananas or I want this size a pear or you know what I mean? Whereas Walmart, I feel like Walmart picks out the worst piece of fruit and then gives it to me. I feel like I got some pineapple and strawberries. The strawberries were pure white on the inside and the pineapple was hard. And I don't know if that's just all they had to pick from, but it was just so disappointing because then you either have to go back to the grocery or not use them, So I do like that about Kroger. I have recently looked up Shipt, SHIPT, which is a delivery. So you order and they deliver it. And I think I'm going to try a trial. You can do a two-week free trial with them. And in our area, they will deliver Publix, Costco, Kroger, Target, and CVS.
And is there a fee for that?
Yeah, it's $99 a year or $8.25 a month. Then I read somewhere that it said, oh, and free for orders over $35. So I'm guessing that the $99 a year is just access to the program. And then if you didn't have a $35 order, you would have to pay
$8.25.
Which might matter at a place like CVS or Target if you were just ordering one little thing or whatever. But I never have a grocery order. I would never do a grocery order under $35 anyway. It said it learns your pickiest produce preferences.
Really?
And you can even chat online with your picker, with your shopper.
Oh, I thought that sounded kind of cool. The only fruit I will order on my Walmart app is bagged apples. I never let them pick out any other fruit because I'm leery of what I will get. Mm-hmm. But that would be nice if I could actually talk to the person picking.
Yeah. And I've been really hesitant to do it because I thought, okay, I still have a car. I'm still able to drive to the store. I feel so guilty that I can't even get over to the store. But, I thought I'd give it a try. It says it saves you about 8 hours a month time, and your time is valuable. And I don't know. I just might see.
Well, I just think that grocery shopping is moving from we go into a store, we get a cart, we go around. I mean, grocery shopping is changing and evolving. I know my daughter that just got married, Walmart pickup is now normal for her. Mm-hmm. So, I think even things like Shipt and stuff like that, those will become just normal ways of getting your groceries. Right now, they seem like super indulgent. What, you can't even go and pick out your own groceries? Yeah. But at some point, they're not going to seem like that. They're just going to seem normal. Have you had any experience with that, Mindy?
Yeah, that was definitely our life in Knoxville as we got on the Walmart pickup and Kroger pickup. But since moving to Pennsylvania, we are a lot further from Walmart. And so I did it a couple of times, but I'm really committing, like, I got to drive 20 minutes to go pick up my groceries. It's really not worth it. And also, I don't know what it is about this area, but everything is so picked through. The couple of times I did it, they were out of like 10 items. So I'm like, well, I have to go to the store anyway. I go probably twice a week. And I go to different stores because they have different things that I like. So like Wegmans has the best fruit and vegetables. Walmart has all the cheaper like household items, box stuff. Costco, of course, which we did a whole episode on.
Right.
I'm at Costco. So I really am the one doing the grocery shopping. It's kind of nice, but that's only because my life isn't busy right now.
And just a little sidetrack on that, places like Costco or Trader Joe's or places like that, like I actually want to go in. Right. Those are actually fun. I'm going to get inspired. I'll probably come out with some kind of new food. I don't want to just go in for my staple grocery store run.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true. I love going to Trader Joe's. A tip for the Walmart ordering is I always hit substitution allowed. Mm-hmm. And because I had a friend say, oh, I never allow substitution because I don't, I want to get the thing I want. And I don't think I have ever had a substitution that was a different brand or a totally different product. It was just they didn't have the size that I wanted. And they always substitute the better, the bigger, the more expensive for the same price.
Well, one thing about the substitutions is you can say, oh, no, I don't think I want that substitution. And they won't charge you for it.
Right.
Yeah, there's a big difference between my cinnamon dolce Starbucks K-Cups for my Keurig and the caramel macchiato K-Cups, which I do not like.
Right. And I try to think of like, okay, this is probably late teen, early 20-year-old boy doing my shopping. Exactly. They don't understand that there's a big difference. So some of the substitutes I've got, those aren't even the same family, but I can sort of see how they maybe thought they were interchangeable.
Wow, because I've never gotten anything like that.
Really?
We didn't have this little 8-ounce bag of cheese, so we gave you the 24-ounce.
Yeah. All right. So what are some of the meals that you guys make that your family loves?
All right. I've got a couple that I really enjoy making because they make a little or a lot. And these are also meals that I have prepared when we are having company. And our company always loves them as well. There's 3 in particular that we really like. We love Mexican food. With the Mexican food, I have super simple recipe for crock pot chicken. It's a Mexican chicken. And then really you can decide how you want to have it. You can have chips to make nachos. You can have soft shell, put it on a salad, and then you have all these different toppings to choose from.
That sounds really good.
Cilantro and black beans and corn and my favorite salsa from Costco. and guacamole. So like this is a meal that's just, you can pick and choose. All three of my items are like this.
Okay, great.
We also love making pizzas. These are make your own pizza night, and everyone gets their own pita bread. And again, there's lots of toppings. There's pepperoni, mushrooms, olives, peppers, different kinds of meat. And I just put everything in all these little containers, and you're able to come up and make your own pizzas.
Ooh.
And so we love that so much. It's 10 minutes in the oven and they're ready.
You could
Okay.
use naan bread.
Yeah, you
That
could
would be
use
really good.
anything. Yeah. And just like your oven's at like 400 degrees and you heat it up for 10 minutes.
Ooh, that sounds great.
It's just like so good. And again, it's a lot of fun even with company. So then my last one is just baked potato night.
Ooh.
Again, it's a lot of different options. You have different proteins to choose from. You could have your chili over there if you want it. And then just all the different things. And I always include a lot of different vegetables. So those 3 items are just super easy, great for a large family, for company, fun on a summer night to have.
All right, Julie. Julie, what are your go-to meals that your family loves?
We love to make homemade pizza. I don't make my own crust, but I like to buy the dough at Publix.
Okay.
You know, it's a dough ball. So you have to kind of bring
Spread
it
it
home,
out.
let it sit out and spread it out. And then we make barbecue chicken pizza. So I like to grill the chicken, put a lot of spices on there, grill it, and then cut it up. And the sauce on the pizza is barbecue sauce instead of a red sauce.
Mm.
And then you put the grilled chicken, cheese, red onion, and cilantro. And it is our favorite.
Is it very California Pizza Kitchen like?
Yeah, kind of. And grilled chicken and pineapple quesadillas.
Ooh.
That's easy.
I really feel
grilled
like Steve would absolutely love those.
And those have barbecue sauce on them as well.
Oh.
That's a Pioneer Woman recipe.
Is it? Oh, maybe
Yeah,
you could
it's
put a
really
link
good.
to that and we
Yeah.
can put it in the show notes.
Let's see. I have 2 more. I have chicken kebabs.
Mm.
And you marinate the chicken, and it's like soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, honey, and ginger, green onions, and lime juice. And then it's just sticking them on the skewer, like you use tenders.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to cut it up. Just the chicken tender goes on the skewer.
Oh, interesting.
And it's marinated, and you can just serve it over rice. And then the other things, we just love roasted vegetables. So I have a little veggie basket that goes on the grill. So I'll do
Oh.
cauliflower, roasted peppers, potatoes, broccoli.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just put a little olive oil and salt and pepper.
And how long do you have to roast those in that basket on the grill?
15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
You just kind of shake it periodically?
Yeah, just kind of stir them up.
Oh.
I like them to get a little blackened on the edges, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good
Yeah.
idea. I might have to look for one of those. Maybe Amazon or something will
Mhm.
have that. Well, some of the meals that my family loves that are kind of quick, and I just had this last night actually. A lot of times if I'm in Trader Joe's or other stores like that, I've even been buying it at Kroger now, I'll buy sourdough bread and I'll do like grilled cheese, avocado, you can put tomato, you can do ham, I'll just do however the person wants it on the sourdough bread. And that's so yummy in the summer, and it's
Yes.
quick. And then all you have to do is serve cut up fruit or vegetables with it, and that's your whole
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Another thing I like to do in the summer, and I don't know why I don't do this in the winter more, is I will go to a fun place like Trader Joe's or even sometimes Costco or someplace and buy things that I don't usually buy, like lobster ravioli or like fresh mozzarella or dark chocolate covered almonds and a neat kind of bread and some kind of, other kind of meat that I wouldn't normally make. And I just have like this assortment, and you just put it all on your plate and you just have like fun foods.
Oh,
Those are my
yes.
favorite because it allows you to try different things. Another thing that I make that Julie will laugh because I've made it for years and years and years is you can just buy the big thing of Alaskan crab and make crab salad. And it is so easy in the summer. I just saw they had it out there at Sam's Club yesterday, the fake crab. What's it called? Is it Julie?
Imitation.
Oh, that's right.
imitation
It's called
crab.
imitation crab.
Oh, how funny.
And you boil
Oh my
like a fun
goodness.
noodle, like get like a fun shape. Corkscrew or farfalala or however you say that or something fun, and then you boil that and you let that cool off or run under cold water. You break up that imitation crab, you put Old Bay seasoning, mayonnaise, and some ranch dressing. You mix it all together and you serve it with watermelon. I serve everything with watermelon this summer.
Oh,
And
That's
it is
awesome.
good, and it's perfect for Oh, a lot of times I serve it with corn on the cob because suddenly in the summer you can get corn on the cob. Now that takes up a lot of room on the plate. That can be half your meal.
That's good on the grill too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Well, one other thing I do with chicken, this kind of sounds like something Mindy said. If I grill the chicken, all the good spices on it, we'll just do nachos. So everybody gets a plate of chips and put the chicken on it. And then I'll cut up cucumbers, black olives, cut up tomatoes, have some cheese dip, sour cream, whatever. Just make whatever kind of nachos and as many vegetables as possible. Like it's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's simple. You don't even need a recipe for that. It's just
Yes.
I know. I feel like that's all my stuff is just super easy.
I need to have more nachos in my life.
Yes.
How do you guys deal with picky eaters? All of our kids are kind of grown, but I don't think that it's an area that you grow out of. How do you deal with people that are like, oh, I don't want to eat that? Because even when they're older, you can hear that.
There are things that I know they don't care for. And I still make those things, especially if Bryce and I like them. If Bryce and I don't like them, I'm not going to make it though, because the parents kind of get to choose.
That's kind of
not every meal can be their favorite.
No.
And I also think, well, if they're not going to be home that night, that's when I'll put that meal in
Yes, it's true. And like the meals that I just mentioned, there's a lot of choices. Like we're having the same meal. For instance, if we're having baked potatoes, I'm like, I don't care if you don't have everything. I tell them they have to have a protein. You have to have a vegetable. But as long as you have those, I'm okay with you picking what you want from what I've got available.
Yeah.
When my kids were little, I decided that we weren't going to make more than one meal, but maybe I would say, you won't get to have dessert if you don't eat that. Well, I learned real quick that was not going to work for, in particular, my son, because he was 4. And you really can't start something like that until they're old enough to understand you're going to sit here until you eat it. If your 1-year-old doesn't like something, you're just going to have to work around that because they're not going to eat it. But as your kids get older, you can say you're not getting up from the table until you finish that. But I said, well, Davis, you're not going to be able to have dessert if you don't eat your green beans. And he didn't even attempt to put one green bean in his mouth. He just pushed his plate away and said, I don't need dessert. So that totally did not establish what I wanted to, because what I wanted to do was try the green bean. So I really decided that, okay, I want you to eat the food that I put in front of you. I might not give you a very big portion of it if I know that you hate it. And there have been things over the years, like really Davis hates green beans and I don't even attempt to get him to eat them. But if they normally eat almost everything and there's just a few side things that they won't eat, okay, fine. But in general, whatever I make, you have to eat.
I know our family, like John and I love chili. It's one of our favorite things. And David was never a fan of chili. And I assumed it was the beans.
Yeah.
Well, later he tells me, I noticed he doesn't eat anything that has chunks of tomatoes in it.
Yes.
And so I just started pulsing the tomatoes in a little food processor before I put them in the chili. And now he eats chili all the time. He loves it. So the tomatoes are still in there. They're just not so visible.
Yes.
And he knows they're in there. He just doesn't like those big chunks of tomatoes. So I thought, well, I can do that.
Yes. I feel like it's important. If there's something you can do, like my oldest didn't like red sauce. Well, we're going to have red sauce, but she would put it on the side, like with the meat sauce, and wouldn't mix it with her spaghetti and would kind of eat her small portion. All right, fine. And I don't know how many times I've heard over the years, you made this just because you know I don't like it. Kids, I promise I have never once sat there and thought, what does Lydia hate? I am making that on Thursday. I've never, ever thought that.
That's the last thing you want to do because it's so much trouble to make and so much trouble. You want the most people to eat it.
Yes. Yes. It's not like I'm serving liver. Like I'm trying to serve things that most people like. And if you went over to a friend's house, you would probably have to eat this. This is not exotic food here.
Yeah.
Right.
I know my son did not. He's a very picky eater. Still pretty much is, my married son.
Okay.
And I remember when he was little, I said, you're not leaving the table till you eat these. And it was some kind of a bean. And, it was just hours, because I said, this is what you're going to do. And he ate one and I think he threw it up.
Oh, I hate that.
So then I thought, Well, after that, I said, no, we're not doing this because he really, I think if he sees a strawberry, he gets a little queasy.
Yes.
And I thought, that's a real thing. I mean, that was a physical response. So with him, I just thought, this is what we're having. If you need to get something else after dinner, you can. So I tried to have things he liked most nights, but then there were the nights that I knew he was going to opt out and get something else.
I think every parent has been in this situation where you tell the kid, you're eating that, and then they have like that dried heave gag reflex.
Yeah, when Grant was little, we did the whole you're sitting there until you finish all your food. Well, he'd sit there for a while. He would even take a nap. Then he'd wake up and then he would be like, okay, I'm done. So he would stuff all of it in his mouth at the same time. So much so that then he would gag and spit it all back out. And you can't eat food that, I mean, Bryce was like, oh, you're still eating it. I'm so thankful he's almost 17 now. We don't go through this anymore. I'm like, hey, if you choose to not eat it, then like you're not eating anything else in the kitchen.
Right.
I will say that. I'm like, you're not going to live off of cereal when I have made dinner.
Right.
So the moral of the story is don't ever say you're eating all this or else.
Man, it goes bad 3 out of 3 times. It sounds like.
Yes, for sure. Do you guys have meals that you do certain nights of the week? Or do you rotate your meals regularly? I really want to be one of those people that has Taco Tuesday.
I tried to be organized one time, a long time ago. I also went through a couponing phase.
Okay.
But notice the word phase. But I did plan out meals and I made grocery lists. So like I had 2 meal plans, like 15 meals. And then I had a grocery list that correlated with those 15 meals. So I thought essentially I could do like just grab the list, print it back off, go get those. And here's the 15 meals I can make. But I just really don't like to operate by a set standard all the time. I really enjoy walking down the aisles sometimes and think, oh, I wonder what that's like. Let's try that. Or thinking what sounds good. What have I seen recently? Let's look on Pinterest. So I just have a hard time doing that. But we don't do meals certain nights of the week. I'm too I'll call it creative, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Flighty might be another word for it.
They're not going to put you in a box, Mindy.
I'm not. No. Unfortunately, I probably should be a little more organized.
How about you, Julie? Do you do certain meals, certain nights?
Not so much anymore. I would say I went through phases because we have some good friends, the Vallettas, and they, every Friday night they're making homemade pizza.
Oh,
no matter
that's
what.
so special.
And so I thought, why didn't we do that? So for a while, Friday night was homemade pizza.
How long did it last? 3 weeks?
Yeah, maybe a month or something, And then maybe we got off and went back. Kind of like you, Mindy. I would not want to have, as much as I love tacos, every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And this every Wednesday night. I have to have more variety. So if I'm going to have rotating meals, it's got to at least be a month,
Yes.
And I am very much a person who tries new recipes all the time. So I would still throw a new one in there. I'm probably trying a new recipe every couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's really good. So, do you guys ever do freezer meals that you do ahead of time?
I thought this was funny because yes, I do, but I don't make the freezer meals. I buy them from the store.
Okay. You buy them from the store.
So yes, I do freezer meals, but no, I don't make them ahead of time.
I think I tried to do them. At one point, there was somebody probably on, I don't even know if blogs were a thing at the time, but you could put your meals in gallon Ziploc bags and you were supposed to freeze and stack like 12 meals and they weren't going to take up very much room in your freezer.
Right.
And I tried them and I just don't like food that's been cooked, frozen, thawed out. It doesn't taste the same.
And do you remember those places you could go? You would go and prepare all these meals at their kitchen.
Yeah, meal prep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do you do freezer meals, Julie?
Not anymore, but I used to try that, another phase. But sometimes, like if I'm going to take a meal to somebody, I'll double it and freeze a portion for us.
Oh, that could be good.
Right.
And Pioneer Woman Recipes, I use a lot of hers. She will always tell you, hey, if you want to freeze this, stop now. Like, don't add these ingredients. freeze it at this point and then add this last thing when you pull it out or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be better.
Trying to get away from kind of casserole-y one-dish meals like that anyway.
Right.
So it's not a bad idea to freeze parts of meals. Like you could brown ground beef for tacos, brown it for spaghetti, for sloppy joes or whatever, kind of meal kits.
Yes.
But not just, I don't do any, freeze a whole casserole dish.
That is something I will say I do. I always have 2 and 3 cup bags of cooked chicken ready to go for casserole, tacos, soup, and then I have the same pound Ziploc bags already cooked of ground beef because I just feel like that makes my life so much easier. I don't know how if I had to if I had to start from scratch with my meat every night, that takes a lot of planning.
It does.
Yeah, so I do that in the freezer. All right, cost savings. Julie sent this question. I was like, ooh, I did have a coupon phase. Like I said, I pretty much have the same things in the house all the time. And maybe rotate out.
I was asking that because I don't think about that too much, so I just didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to do coupons. Now I don't.
All right. So we basically have no cost savings ideas because Mindy already said her coupon phase is over.
Yeah, that was over. But I do feel like my cost savings is if I drive to Walmart, I'm conscious of which store has things cheaper.
Right.
So I do try to go to the cheaper store. Use off-brand if it's a good off-brand.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I love the store brand. Like at Kroger,
Yes.
I prefer that. So
I guess I feel like I've already bought the cheapest ingredient by buying it at Walmart or on sale somewhere. So then that's the most cost savings. How about your Instapot? Sometimes I wonder why I ever bought this contraption that I now have to think of ways to use.
I do not own an Instapot. I have not gone down that road yet. So,
all right, Julie, I know you own one.
Yeah, the most recent thing I cooked in it was a spaghetti squash, which was really fun.
Oh,
I was making this spaghetti squash casserole that was a copycat of the True Foods. You know that True Foods restaurant in Green Hills?
No, I've not heard of it.
It's all kind of a health food.
Oh.
I think Oprah Winfrey invested in that company or something. But it's a copycat recipe, and I had it at a luncheon, and it involved cooking a spaghetti squash, which would normally overwhelm me because it's pretty big, and they're very hard to cut.
Okay.
And it takes a really long time to cook in the oven. So this, you just cut it in half, not lengthwise, but the shorter way.
Okay.
And then put those in your Instapot, and it was 7 minutes.
No way. And then you just scoop it out of the rind?
And you scoop it out, and it looks like spaghetti. It's stringy.
Well, that would be a good use for it.
Really good. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people that are vegetarians will use it as spaghetti with a sauce on it. I think our favorite recipe in there, I've done this twice, is the Korean beef, which came in the recipe booklet with the Instapot. So that's a really good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that I still use my Instapot and Crock-Pot in the summer, but just not as often.
Right.
Well, I use my Crock-Pot, I feel like all through the year.
Okay.
Because in the summer, a meal that we really enjoy is I'll make our own barbecue pork, pulled pork.
Oh, right.
And so I do that in the crock pot, and the Mexican chicken that I mentioned earlier. It's so easy because it's just frozen chicken breast with seasoning packet of taco seasoning and a ranch seasoning packet and a little bit of water. And it's the best pulled Mexican chicken. I do still do things like that, especially or a lighter soup I'll do in the crock pot. Because, there's days where you're at the pool all day or you're outside all day or you're gone. And it's really nice to have at least the base part of your meal done.
It is.
When you get home.
I make a similar barbecued chicken in the crock pot. I think it's very similar to your Mexican recipe. I love that it's the flash frozen chicken breast. And then it's barbecue, molasses, some other ingredients. I think it has some Italian dressing in it. And you just cook that down all day. Then you can, like you said, you get home, you serve it with some rolls and fruit, and there's your whole meal.
It's good to go. Yes.
Do you put the chicken in there frozen?
Yeah, that's the great part about it. You just put those frozen breasts in there and walk away.
Yeah, I always have to have a bag of frozen chicken in my freezer.
I've got a slow cooker meal that I've done for a couple of bigger things because it'll feed a lot of people. And it's carnitas, which is shredded pork.
Oh, I
Yes.
love
You
that.
buy a shoulder or a butt. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's it calls for, I think, some orange slices and limes and the juice from those. And then
Right.
it's just some seasoning. And that's it. It's just there's not a lot to it. Maybe 5 or 6 things in there, spices, and slow cook that and then shred it and serve it on tacos or buns or
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really good left over, and it's good with avocado and lime and cilantro on
Oh,
it.
that is really
Really
good.
You can do
Yes.
nachos with that.
I think any of those are really good. So here's a pork barbecue that is so easy. And is this how you make yours, Mindy? It's you put the pork shoulder
Mhm.
and you do 1 can, 12-ounce can of root beer and an 18-ounce bottle of barbecue sauce. And that's all you do. You just
That's
cook the
all I
pork
do.
day. That's what you do too?
But
Okay.
I don't add the barbecue sauce though until it's all shredded and I've separated the fat. So like I cook it in the root beer.
Okay, you're right. Because now that I'm reading down further
'cause
on the
it would burn.
recipe,
Yeah.
it's refreshing my memory. Yes, you basically do. You just pour the root beer over the pork.
Yep, that's
Then
it.
once that cooks and you shred it, then you add in your barbecue sauce. I mean,
And
you
you know what?
cannot get easier.
I know. And then to take this meal to the next level, like if you're having company over and you want this pork barbecue to be really good, I get really good buns. I butter them and I put them on the skillet. I toast
good.
the buns. And then I always have bread and butter pickles with it. Well, then you can put like coleslaw or cold pasta salad with it. It is so good.
I'm gonna have to
with
make
your,
that
like,
again. Yeah,
Buttered
me too.
toasted, the buttered toasted buns make the sandwich.
Yes,
I'm telling you, like
that is true. And those pickles are good.
and the pickles,
Yeah.
it's just like, it is so delicious.
And like you said, that could be ready for you when you got home, and then you're
Yeah.
just working on the side parts of it.
I pull my big skillet out that I make pancakes on, and I put like 12 toasted buns on there. Like we're done. And
That is perfect. I'm gonna definitely have to do that. First, I have to figure out, is it the shoulder, the butt, the tenderloin?
Okay, you wouldn't use tenderloin for
Okay,
shredded
you
barbecue.
would
not
That's
use
a white meat.
tenderloin.
You-
Okay.
I do like I really like the butt for
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to get the pork butt. Bring it
We
on
do.
out.
We do.
Okay, how about lunch? That's a meal I'm always struggling with. What ideas do you guys have for that?
I asked this question because I wanted to hear Mindy's answer because she said she eats.
I
You
do.
say you eat the same thing every day?
For breakfast I do actually, but for lunch, it's kind of, I have a smaller list of things, go-to items. So this sounds silly, but I always have on hand like clementines. And so I always have a clementine with lunch. I have to make myself eat fruit. I also always have like the Tyson natural grilled nuggets. They're new that I have found at the store. So they're really good, just these grilled nuggets, and I can heat them up in the microwave. So if I just need like a small, simple protein,
Mhm.
I might have some cashews. I know that sounds so simple, but I enjoy eating lunch at home. I used to eat out a lot more. So I like having these things kind of just on hand. I'll make a quesadilla if I'm going to be home, which is really easy because I just do grilled chicken breast cut up, like microwaved, and then I cut it up, and then I do my my Mexican cheese, and then I've got my salsa and guacamole. It's really, really good. But I also go and I'll get sushi from the grocery store that's already made, and I'll just get like a portion size of sushi. Those are kind of my go-to lunches. I'll have like some mineral water or seltzer water that I only drink with lunch. So like it's kind of, I don't know, refreshing.
Yeah.
Or if I have leftover soup that I want, I'll have that. So it's a lot more simple.
Yeah, I have a hard time with lunch. I really am so tired of sandwiches after years and years and years. But sometimes if I just don't want to think, I'll have a sandwich. Today I had ants on a log. It's a banana with peanut butter and dried cherries on it. Lunches are really hard. I had eggs the past couple days, but I get burned out on eggs real quick. Like 3 days, and now I can't look at another egg for a few weeks.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. What do you do, Julie?
I mean, it's nothing that's ever the same other than I like that. I think it's called pimento cheese. And I buy the jalapeno one at Costco. So I'll just have a couple tablespoons of that on some crackers and a handful of almonds or one of those Baby Bell cheeses.
Yeah, those are good.
I do love Baby Bell cheese. So that's kind of it. And then I still love a good peanut butter and jelly, so I'll do that sometimes.
I have peanut butter and jelly at least once a week, probably.
Yeah,
or
I'll
have tuna fish one day a week. I don't ever really have ham or turkey sandwiches. I just don't like those.
I don't like
them.
lunch meat. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it when there's leftovers from dinner. That's my favorite.
Yeah. If there's that, I will do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we've solved any meal planning, but hopefully people have heard at least one recipe and just know that we're all in the same boat here.
It's true.
Last night, I tried kind of going over this stuff. I was thinking, I don't think I've made a hamburger all winter. I really only make hamburgers in the warm weather. So now I can bring hamburgers back in. Like I need to have a refresher on what can I bring back in.
Hamburgers and brats.
Oh, we love to do brats. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know something we didn't talk about.
Okay.
Have you ever used a meal prep delivery system like HelloFresh?
I have not.
Because you wanted to do that, Marie.
I know. It was on my list for 2019. Well, actually, I wasn't going to try that. I was going to try the one where they send you your recipes for the week and what you should buy. I never did try that. What was that called? Prep Dish. It was called Prep Dish.
So just the recipes, not the ingredients.
Yes. Have you tried meal delivery, Julie? Yeah,
I did HelloFresh twice and we loved every single thing they sent. I think they sent 3 meals, for each time. Mm-hmm. And last night we had a repeat of that, because they give you these really beautiful recipe cards that have the picture of the dish, and on the back it gives you the instructions with step-by-step pictures and then all the nutritional information. And so you get to keep those, so it's easy to repeat them. Mm-hmm. You just have to buy the ingredients. And we did a pork tenderloin with this cherry glaze on it.
Ooh,
my
sounds
gosh.
Good.
They were the best things. I'm used to cooking a pork tenderloin whole, but the last couple of times I've cooked it, you chop it up into really thick, like medallions, and then kind of press it down with the heel of your hand. Totally tenderizes it.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Cooked that way. And then you cook them in a pan, and it had balsamic vinegar and cherry preserves, and then those cooked down really dark and kind of sticky.
Ooh,
and
that sounds
pork
delicious.
Was in it, and onion and shallots. It was amazing. I will keep having that. That's we had it once in the meal, and then I repeated it.
And
that's pretty easy
delicious.
Too.
What'd you have for dinner last night, Mindy?
Sometimes I really just want something lighter at night. Yeah, and I'm not a bread person, and I'm not a pasta person.
Okay.
Now my family does love those, but I don't tend to eat those. I believe I made myself breakfast.
Breakfast for dinner is a great option.
Yes.
That is my go-to if there is nothing else in my plan or in the in the pantry. You can always do eggs, bacon, and toast. Or we did for the college group last night. We had pancakes and bacon.
Perfect.
And then I had done these little eggs in muffin tins that you could do them ahead of time and just pull them out one by one and from the freezer for your kids.
Seen a recipe for that.
It was very good. They loved that. That was their favorite thing, I think.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
You know that like that artisan bread at the store now, it's like thicker and bigger, but I make French toast with that bread.
Ooh.
And it is it's like you're at a restaurant. You get like the big pieces of French toast. So that's kind of our
I need to incorporate French toast. I haven't had that in a while. Maybe people would enjoy that.
I have a really good recipe for that. It's something that I just kind of put together. So it's really good. You add some vanilla, cinnamon, sugar mixed together to the eggs and a little milk.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Then do you still put syrup on it?
Yeah, or powdered sugar.
Oh.
Or both.
Ooh, yeah, I know. I mean,
I always forget about French toast for some reason.
French toast is one of my favorite things to make.
All right. Well, listeners, there's lots of ideas for you. I can't wait to hear what you guys try. Happy eating.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Friends, we're so glad you joined us today. If you enjoy Midlife Matters, we hope you'll tell a friend. Show them how to find us on their phone and hit the free subscribe button so that they never miss an episode. They can also download and listen to each episode right from our website, midlifematterspodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Midlife Matters Podcast. You can also email us at midlifematterspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday. Bye.